Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope you will be feeling well. In today's lecture, we will learn what is literature. And if there will be much time with us, then we'll also learn something about simile and metaphor and also personification and such kind of other items of literature. So first of all, the many literary persons do not find any kind of exact definition of literature. They disagree about the definition of literature. But however, as far as most of the literary persons and books that are being written about literature, so they put forward this definition that literature is a reflection of life. Uh, when we are standing before the mirror, we see our own reflections. So literature holds mirror to the life, and it presents before us an imaginative picture of the real life and the world. So you can say that whenever you are writing, you are reading any kind of piece of literature, an essay, a poem, or any piece of literature, I mean a book. So it means that you are learning something about your life and you are learning about the world in an imaginative and artistic and aesthetic way. Now, we should come to know that what are those books or things that can be categorized as literature. So novels, dramas, plays, epic, lyric, okay, stories, short stories, sonnets, all these can be called literature, because here you find beauty of language, beauty of expression, and you also have the charming personality of the writer who is going to share his experiences with you people. Next come what is not literature. So we read a lot of things. For example, newspaper, periodical, journals, history books, and philosophy books, books on psychology, books on science and mathematics. So they cannot be called true literature, because you people read all of these books just to get information and to explain something before you, for you people. But as far as literature is concerned, so literature illuminates your mind. They eliminate the dark recesses of your mind. You read literature or a book of literature just for the sake of beauty of the language and expression. As far as other books are concerned, which cannot be called literature, so you read those books just to seek information. Next, other quality of literature is that it has some kind of universal appeal. When you read literature, so it means that you are learning something about the whole universe, some basic elements of human nature. So there you will find an element of universality and originality in books of literature. Dr. Johnson defines literature in such a way. He says that if a book is read and enjoyed and reread, even after the death of the writer for at least 100 years, so then he says that that book can be categorized as literature. He wanted to say that if a book is reread, enjoyed, and once again reread by the people after the death of the writer and the author, so it means that that book has some kind of poetic beauty, language beauty, and there is some kind of language, a beautiful language expression, due to which that book is enjoyed and reread by the reader, because it means that there is some kind of artistic beauty or aesthetic element which we enjoy. And next, it arouses human interest. Whenever you will take any kind of literary book, so it means that you will find something about your own nature. You will feel as if the writer has written this book for me, not for any other else. So you'll find your own experiences and feelings and emotions in by reading that book. So it means that it will arouse your interest, and you will be able to read that book till end. language, we find not so much language and expressions beauty in other non-literary books. But as far as literary books are concerned, so you study, you read, you feel that there is beauty of language. The expressions uttered by the writer have some kind of profound beauty. And you will also see that there is some kind of intellectual excellence and beauty even in the language, in the structure, and in the expressions uttered by the writer. So most of the time, any literary book is read by the people just for the sake of the language of, for the beauty of language and expression, because ideas, notions are the same. But a book is read, written by any man of letter, just for the beauty of language, for the beauty of expression, because ideas are the same from Hazrat Adam Islam, and it will remain so till the day of resurrection. But we read literary book just for the sake of beauty of language. Next, its purpose. So literature is written, and it is written just for the sake of beauty. The writer who is going to write any literature, any poems, any literary piece of writing, so it means that he has no mercenary motives behind that book. He writes the book just for the sake of beauty of language, mean that he has no other motive. He writes the book just to share his views, his experiences, his feelings with the people in an imaginative way. So he has just this purpose, that he wanted to please the audience. He has no other motive, mean that he is not going to give any kind of information about anything, but he just express himself, okay, in an imaginative and in artistic way. And due to these two qualities, his books are read in the days to come. Now, what can be the subject matter of literature? So you should know, this is a very important point, that literature is written not about anything which we say that it will give us some kind of information, but the subject matter, the content, the theme of literature is experiences, feelings, emotions of the writer. And he writes anything not to give you any kind of information, which can be called dry thing, but he writes about his experiences, about the nature, about the feeling, about anything, and he gives it a subjective element, subjective touch, mean that you will feel that there is a charming personality of the writer behind that writing, and he gives us some kind of subjective touch, and the people read then those books just for the sake of those experiences which the writer has presented in his book. Next, its effect. When you read any literary book, so it will change your life for the better. It will transform your life, and it can change your views, your stance, your outlook on life. So it means that it has some a very deep and profound impact on your mind, on your heart, on your spirituality, and on your outlook. When you read literature, so it illuminates the dark recesses of your mind. You come to know about the world, not okay just for the sake of information, but it means that you learn about some social evils, some basic problems which we face from time immemorial, and those problems and issues will be discussed and will be felt by the people till the day of judgment. So it means that there is some kind of universal appeal. And whenever we read any kind of piece of literature, so we can say that as if we are sitting before the writer and before the poet, before the author, and he is going to express himself in our presence. So it means that he is going to share his ideas with us. When an ordinary person, for example, he goes out of his house and he enjoys the beauty of nature. So an ordinary person, man, can just see that beauty of nature. For example, take the example of daffodil flower or any flower. So we enjoy it just superficially. But the poet and a man of letter goes beyond that beauty. He see in that beauty of nature grandeur, greatness, and awe, and also the beauty of God Almighty. Uh, and he dives deep into the ocean, into the sea of literature, and take out pearl of wisdom for an ordinary person. And next, he can soar higher in the air. It means that he can share his views, he can share his wisdom, sagacity with the people around him. And if we take example of an ordinary person, then he is unable to share all these things with people because he has just superficial mind. He can see to the things just superficially. He has no so deep intelligence and IQ and intellectual excellence to learn something deep, some hidden lesson. So therefore, whenever we read literature, we are carried away by the experience and emotions of the writer. We are transported to the world of imaginations, the metaphysical and the unseen. And there, then we feel the magical power of the writer and of the poet, that he influenced us in one way or the other. And then we feel the profound feeling of the writer, the profound experience of the poet. And then he has some kind of deep impact even on our mind and even on our heart. And we are transformed for the better. So in short, we can say that literature can be called an imaginative, artistic, and aesthetic writing. So I hope that this is a rather long topic, but as far as this short time, within this short time, this topic was concerned, so I have tried my best to explain and to give the exact definitions to some extent to you people, and I hope that you will be able to thoroughly understand that what is and what can be called literature. So next is come to know some poetic devices which are used by most of the writer to give beauty, effect, power, and strength to the writing and to make his writing more clear. So simile, or you can say it is a word that are used, that simile is a word or a phrase that are used to describe something. And most of the time we use like and as. For example, he is beautiful. No simile has been used here, but if I will say that he is as brave as a lion, so it means that I has been compared to lion, which is totally different. I think I is human being and lion is animal. So when one thing is compared to some different thing, so then we say that here a simile has been implied. And we can also say that he is brave like a lion. So here once again, with the help of this word like, simile has been produced. But if I will say Allama Iqbal is like Ghalib, so here no simile has been used. This is called comparison. When similar things are compared with each other, then this is not simile, but then those can be called comparison. As king are compared with the king, and king is compared to the lion. So to the lion is simile, and if king is compared to the king, so it means that with the king, so it means that we are not using any kind of simile, but here we are using comparison. And metaphor, this is once again also a word or a phrase which is used for the time being, temporarily, for some other thing. Mean a word or a phrase is adopted on temporary basis to describe something else. And here we don't use like, the word like and as. As for example, his line or my line came. If you are talking about the qualities of your son, okay, that he has also some kind of qualities, I mean bravery, boldness, just like can be found in line. So here it means that you have taken the word on temporary basis for your own son to describe the qualities of your son. So then here you are using metaphor. He is line. If I say that she is beautiful like a flower, so here once again I am using simile. But if I will say she is a flower, so it means that the word flower has been taken on temporary basis to describe the beauty of she. So here once again the beauty is metaphor. Next, and we also use metaphor for verbs. For example, if I will say, please throw light on this subject. So it means that we are not having any kind of flash or torch and we are throwing light on the page. But it means that explain it, elucidate it, give some information on this or that subject. So here, throw light on this subject has been used metaphorically. Next, personification. So it has been taken from the word person. And from this, we take the word personify. And personify means give human qualities to some non-living thing, to some object. And personification is that process when we are going to give some human qualities to non-living thing. For example, Wordsworth is saying in his poem, The Daffodils, that the daffodils were dancing to and fro, or the daffodils, their head was tossing here and there, they were tossing their head here and there to and fro, okay, in the cool breeze of the morning. So it means that he has given some kind of human qualities to this daffodil flower, because flower cannot dance. This is human qualities. So to give human qualities to any non-living things, to any object, okay, can be described as personification. In the same way, one author was saying that the branches, the huge and the sprawling branches of the tree were dancing in the wind. So he wanted to say that its branches were moving here and there due to the current of the wind. But here he has also used personification, okay, which is also called poetic device. And by using personification, the poet gives some kind of effect, some kind of beauty, and some kind of clarity to the things about which he is going to say something. So I hope that you will be able to understand all of these important points about literature. Inshallah, in the next lecture, we will go into too much detail about all of these items and things. And thank you very much.